it's you don't really trade zero DT. I was reading that in the forum saying how you grew your account. Was that to grow it? So I can easily trade zero DTs. I just feel like it's not a good it's one how do I put this? It's not a good influence for me to be trading zero DTs and making you guys learn how to trade zero DTs because zero DTs is not going to grow your account. It's going to bring you good profits here and there, that's for sure. But I don't think it should be a primary focus for anybody, especially when you're in your growing stages. Later on, when you're consistent, possibly you could have it there. But, 9 out of 10 times from what I've seen in my experience and the people I've mentored, the way I mentor is I make them, if they're mentoring with me, I don't allow them to trade zero DTs, um, or I just stop mentoring them. Um, and everybody I've done that with, they have done really great without zero DTEs. Zero DTEs are great when you are in an environment how it was between August of last year to February this year. I can't argue with that. That was a zero DT environment because if you look back at SPX in that time range, we were just kind of just consolidating here, right? So you had very big intraday ranges and individual stocks didn't always move that great, but the indexes kind of did. So, in that area, that's where okay, I would kind of shift towards zero DTs. If you actually were here back then, that's when I would trade actually SPX a lot more than I do now. But when I have momentum in across the market, why would I trade zero DTs? I would make substantially more trading swings, right? So that's why I trade swings. But yeah, I also don't do it because I realized, few people here have actually been with me for quite a few years now. I used to trade primarily zero DTs, 4 years ago or something. And I used to have like 90%, 98% win rates and stuff like that. But I realized that a lot of people would look at those flashy profits and end up not keeping them because they start getting greedy. They start oversizing. And the truth is, when you trade zero DTEs, your learning curve is way, way like duller than if you actually trade something that has time behind it, right? So the biggest thing I'll say, and I'm not taking a shot, right? This is just the truth. When you're trading zero DTEs, you are going to be dealing with emotions, right? Because obviously your position will be up 20%, it could be down 20%, like up or down, right? It could be up a lot or down a lot in just fraction of a minute or 2 minutes, right? And sometimes that's great. Who wouldn't like quick profit, right? I'm not negating that, right? But if you're starting out trading, and I'm even saying like in your first 2 years, anything below 2 years, that is irrelevant to me. There's people who've done great for 2 years or less than 2 years, and then they completely lose everything after 2 years, right? So I personally believe a learning process is 2 years. It doesn't mean you would take 2 years to be consistently profitable. I'm just saying a learning process takes about 2 years. But let's say you're less than 2 years and you're doing great in zero DTEs. The thing is, because there's so much emotion during trades, you aren't able to always apply what you learn after market close. So, or after trade realization. So what do I mean by that? Um, Damn, I really wish I had my tablet because this would be great to actually draw and write. But I'll do the best I can with a snipping tool. Um, so, when it comes to learning trades, there's there's quite a few times you can learn how to trade and your mistakes, but the main times is obviously after a trade, and then and then during a trade, right? So it works in two separate way. It works in different ways. You would think, oh, you'll only learn after a trade, right? Because how could you learn during the trade? But that's not actually right. So whenever you learn stuff after trade, like, oh, I should have, actually looked at this level, or I should have kept it to this target. Let's say one of your takeaways was, you know, I should keep stuff till my fib extension target. Okay, now the thing is, how are you going to apply that in your during learning phase, so like during the trade, if you're going to be just stuck with emotions when you're trading with zero DTs because everything's moving so quickly? You know, some people, so I'm not gonna say like all beginners face this, but majority of people do, right? Some people will be able to walk away because they have to work or something and they could come back tweeting their fib extension and okay, that'll be great for them. But majority of people will start seeing that their contract drops 60% and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out here, and they'll get out. But as great as 60% is, the truth is 60% is not good enough for zero DTEs. If you're trading a risk on asset like zero DTEs, as as spoiled as this sounds, anything below 150% is not a great trade. Anything above 150% is a good trade. 300% and above is a great trade. So that's why, for example, when I did trade zero DTEs, I made sure a majority of my average gains were around 300%. Because that way, you can at least create a replicative, okay, you know what I'm trying to say. You could be able to do well over and over again with zero DTEs. But if you're not able to learn what's actually going on during this price action, how will you be able to replicate that, right? So for example, let's look at candles, right? Let's say we're looking at a 5-minute candle after a trade, and you're like, oh, the 5-minute candle closed like this. I should have held on to it. But if you actually were to rewind and you were to go back during the trade, the candle might have actually looked like this, right? But you won't remember that because all you see is this. Oh shit, I just entered right here. Oh my god. Bro, it's already down 40%. You won't remember the candle will look like this. You won't completely remember that there's a level there. And, after the trade, you'll be like, oh yeah, I should have held it. But then it comes back and it's like, oh my god, I'm down. And you get out. And that is a constant cycle that most zero DT traders are in. I'm not the specific scenario, but kind of how this repetitive behavior becomes because you aren't allowing yourself to realize the power of holding runners and when to hold positions. And you can only do that when time is on your side. So theta and IV is not a huge factor, which is why when growing small accounts or for any beginner traders, in my opinion, the greatest trading learning style is swing trades because you have time. You can actually see your runners develop. And it's not something like, oh, one day I see, oh, I got out of an XPX call for 100%, but it went up to 2,000%. Next day, who cares? Like literally, you see big numbers again. You won't even remember that lesson. But a swing lasts for days. A swing will be up 100% one day, right? Next day, it'll be up 150%. And the next day, and then a few days later, it'll be up like 300%. And you'll be constantly reminded, like, hey, I should have actually held on to that trade instead of just getting out for 60%. Because you have a constant reminder for one single set, right? And you could actually learn from that a lot better because it's not fluctuating as much as it would when it comes to zero DTEs. So that's why it's not like you can't learn from primarily trading zero DTEs, but your learning curve is going to be a lot slower. So if you were to just draw a graph here, and let's say your learning curve for swings is yellow, and your zero DTEs is red, your zero DTEs learning curve will be something like this, right? I'm not even kidding you. And then your swings learning curve would be something like this. Swings, when it comes to learning curve, there's always just a moment in time where things click. Zero DTEs, on the other hand, it takes a long time for that thing to click, and even then, you still repeat mistakes. So that is why I don't endorse zero DTEs, and that's why I don't primarily focus on it. But it is way easier to trade than swing trading if you know how to swing trade. If you're able to swing trade and consistently swing trade or day trade individual stocks, zero DTE trading is one of the easiest things ever. Zero DTE trading is the most simplistic way of trading. You don't need that much strat behind it. You literally can buy at levels or you could buy breakouts. And because things gain and lose value very quickly, you can hit your targets and stuff like that very quickly and you could get out and you could be decently profitable. However, that does not promise you longevity. Swing trades, on the other hand, is difficult. You have much more obstacles, you have much more things working against you, and you actually had to deal with the emotions during the trade and after the trade because you realize you're not you don't deal with your emotions, you deal with realizations during and after a trade. So you realize like, oh man, I should have been paying attention to sector rotation. Okay, next day you'll pay attention to sector rotation. Then you're like, okay, next mistake is, oh, I should have held more to fib extension tools. Then you'll start holding fib extension tools because you'll realize like, okay, market opens, you don't need to be staring at the chart for what your stock is doing. You just set alerts and you just move away because yes, your contracts will move, but not as much as zero DTEs. So hopefully that makes sense. But that is why I can trade it, but I don't trade it. That's why I also keep on saying SPX is literally the easiest thing to trade out there. My win rate is pretty substantial on it. But there's also markets when you should trade SPX versus markets where you don't trade SPX. This is not a market to trade SPX. It's a very bad market. The only time SPX is a pretty good asset to trade is in the last 3 hours of market close. So predominantly the last 2 hours. That's when it makes sense trading SPX. But where has SPX been good the other days? It's not really been that great, right? So, however, for example, you keep on hearing Satish. If I was forced to trade, zero DTs, IWM would be the favorable thing. But even that is still not trending anywhere, right? It's trending upwards, but intraday, there's still a lot of ranges. So you're not really learning good behaviors from trading zero DTE. However, the lessons you learned from swing trading can be applied to zero DTEs, and your zero DTE trades would be a lot better. Yeah. All right. Hopefully that makes sense, SJR. We talked about sizing as an eye opener. I blew like 80K last year just oversizing stupidly. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of people. I'm sorry, man.